And observe your sensation on the floor. And once again, notice your right side, notice your left side. And bend your knees and stand your feet. Bend your knees and stand your feet. Okay? All right. And have the knees spread a little bit about the shoulder width. So not together. Not together. Yeah, that's it. Okay. And put your right arm directly to the right, at about the height of your shoulder, straight to the side. The right arm straight out to the right on the floor. Yeah, on the floor. Yeah, come on the floor. Yeah. Come. That's it. Have the palm towards the ceiling. Okay. And lift your left foot from the floor so you bring your left knee closer to you. Keep the knee bent and just bring it closer to you and return and put it back on the floor. Okay, and do this a few times. The left knee, just the left knee. Okay? And you'll notice when you lift it from the floor, there's a moment that is has a little bit more weight. And you'll find that there's a certain moment, if you bring it a little bit closer to your chest, that the weight is a little bit, not so much pulled towards the floor. Okay, that's good. So bring it in this direction so it's closer to you than farther away. Yeah, bring the knee and stay there. Okay. Take your left hand and put it on your right shoulder. Your left hand, put it on your right shoulder. Okay? And now, slowly from this position, start to roll yourself onto your right side. You don't have to do it in one movement. Go a little bit and return, and a little bit and return. Open your right knee. Yeah? As you do this, come on to your right side, everything till you come over. Yeah? Roll your head, lift your left shoulder. The right foot starts on the floor, and you leave the right foot. So you just open the knee as you roll. Yeah? So you open the right knee and bring the left knee with you, and you'll find if you just keep going and roll your head, you'll come onto the side. And see if you can find a way, as you do this, to put your whole left lower leg on the floor. As you come onto the side, put your whole left lower leg on the floor. That means the foot and the knee, and it will usually go in front of the right knee. So you just roll onto the side and put the knee on the floor, put everything on the floor. The left knee, the left foot. And return. And do this many times. So great. Just go back and forth. So before we were going from the side in the direction of the back. Now we're going from the back all the way onto the side. Put the knee, everything on the floor. Boop. And as you do it, try to put the foot and the knee exactly at the same time. Boom. So they arrive at the same time. And back. That's it, great. Now, many people do this with their eyes open, many people do it with their eyes closed. You can try both ways. If you have your eyes open, your neck will roll in one way, and if you have your eyes closed, your neck will roll in another way. And the next time you return onto your back, leave it go and rest. Straighten your legs and rest. Come back, please. Bend your knees. Put your right arm to the right again. Come to the same position. Return to the same position. So the right arm goes to the right. Yeah, the left hand is on the right shoulder. Lift the left knee, bring the knee closer, and do the same rolling. Do it a few more times. And do it in such a way that the knee and the foot touch the floor at the same time. Start with the hand on the shoulder, that's right, and you go, great. And return, and do this 2 or 3 times. And now, after you've done this 2 or 3 times, instead of coming onto the side with the knee and the foot at the same time, come onto the side but bring the knee to the floor first and then the foot. So you still arrive on the side, but you have to do something a little different and then put the foot and return. Okay? So as you arrive on the side, first the knee and then the foot. And observe, can you sense what this does differently in your side? Does it make your side shorter or longer? So you come all the way and put the knee and then the foot. So you come, put the knee down, put the foot down. That's it. And then return. How you return, do however you like. You start off with the right foot on the floor and it stays on the floor. Good. When you come back onto the back, straighten your legs and rest. Bend your knees once again. Put your right arm to the right. Bring your left hand over your chest like we did. Touch the shoulder. Lift your left knee and foot once again. And you want to do the same exact rolling. But this time, instead of putting the knee first, put the foot first. So you do the same rolling, but first put the foot and then bring the knee down. Put the foot first and then the knee, and try and do that and return. And as you do this, observe, It seems to be a small little change, but if you really put the foot first, you'll find that if you want to start by doing that, you actually have to open the knee a little bit more so that the foot comes, and the hip joint has to do something very different. And if you want to exaggerate it, you'll find that you really have to open the knee more and more, and then the foot really comes down, and it's significantly before the foot. And then the side gets longer as you're rolling. That's right. Leave that go. Come onto your back, straighten out and rest. And observe, what do you feel differently now? Is it a different kind of difference that you feel in the area of your hip joint, your pelvis, the Hoofdgelenk, the Becken, Bauch und Rippen? Bend your knees one more time. Come back to the same position. And this time, do the same movement, but one time put the foot first, one time put the knee first. So same rolling, just one time put the foot first, and one time put the knee. And make the difference between the two a little bit larger. That means when you go to put the knee first, turn the foot maybe a little bit more towards the ceiling. And when you go to put the foot first, open the knee more, but then still come onto the side. And notice what you have to do in the hip joint, in the pelvis, and see if you can return the same way that you go. Good. Leave it all go, straighten out on your back, rest, and listen to the feeling between the two sides, what you feel in the hip joint area and the pelvis area. Many of you will feel the leg also different on the left side. So this is a very interesting movement to do, because rolling is such a major, significant thing that we learn in life. And it's the first form of locomotion that we have, coming from our back to our sides and from our side to our back. And there's so many different ways that we roll. Most of them, though, besides that you just roll the trunk, have something to do either with something happening in the arm and the shoulder, or something happening in the leg, the hip joint, and the pelvis. All right, and we'll try the same thing on the other side. Who feels different between the two sides now again, in the legs? Yeah, great. Great, it's very interesting how quick that happens from just making one small change. Yeah? Now, bend your knees, put your left arm out to the left. Bring your right hand onto the left shoulder. And a few times just lift your right knee, bring your right knee closer to you. Lift your right knee, bring the right knee closer to you. And stay there, and then start to do this rolling. And you come over and bring the whole leg. Now, you don't have to get onto the side immediately. You can take a few moments, a few times. You can do it with twisting, you can do it without twisting. I would recommend, we'll do twisting later. I'd recommend trying it a little without twisting. And notice when you do it this way, you have to also pay attention what you do in the left leg and how you balance yourself to let yourself roll. And rest on your back a moment. Come back. Put your left arm to the left. Lift your right knee, your right foot. Put your right hand on your left shoulder. And start to do the same movement 1 or 2 times so that the lower leg and the foot come down at the same time. And then start to do it so that your knee comes first. So that your knee comes first. And see how much of the foot, when you do this, can you actually bring towards the ceiling more. Is it easy? For some of you, not so easy. Try what you can do that makes it okay. And rest on. Well, if something like that, you see,
Like that?
no, just when you roll, come back.
Okay.
Go ahead. Put your head down. So if you're going to take the knee first, you see, if the knee is going to go first, you have to do something, so that will happen, right? So if you do it more and more and more, the foot will come more towards the ceiling. You see? I'll demonstrate this afterwards, okay? Leave it go now and rest, okay? You see? Yeah? That clearer? Okay, bend your legs once again. Put the left arm out to the side. Put the right hand on your left shoulder. Lift your right knee. Bring it closer. Start to do the same rolling, but as you start, you take the foot, so the foot will come to the floor first, and see if you can do this in such a way that you allow the knee to remain more open as you go. Yeah? And then you bring the knee down. So see if you can really make it so as if the knee stays more towards the ceiling and the foot comes first. Okay? And then the knee comes down. Very different movement. Great. Rest one more time. Bend your knees one more time. Put the left arm to the left. Pull up your right knee. And now you do it one time you bring the foot first, and one time you bring the knee first. And try to make the contrast between the two somewhat larger. And notice, what do you do in the pelvis differently when you have to do it that way? Right. Leave it all go. Straighten your legs. And observe now what you feel between the two sides. So it's very interesting that we do two different kinds of rolling, one from the back to the side, one from the side to the back, and the variations that we do are somewhat different, and the sensations that appear are also different. So it's very useful to be able to do certain kinds of movements and not have so much information that you get confused what you're feeling and that it's just a general way of sensing. Now, we'll add in one more element and see what that does. So bend your knees once again. We'll come back to the right side. So lift your left knee, bring the foot closer. Put your right arm out to the side, put the left hand on your right shoulder, and just roll the way we did originally, which was to bring the whole entire lower leg at the same time, the knee and the foot. So you make it very simple. And notice if it's very easy now, if all of a sudden, bloop, you roll much faster and come back. And then after 1 or 2 more times, do this, but with your right arm. With your right arm. Make a quarter of a circle, so you take the arm upwards so that it goes straight up as you roll, and you come with your head to lie on the arm when you come on the side. Boom. I repeat, sure, of course. I say it again. So as you're rolling, you slide the right arm up so it comes straight up and the head comes onto the arm. Boop. And you can take your left hand and put it on the floor. It doesn't have to stay on your shoulder, so it stops the movement so you don't go further. And you don't have to go quick. And do this a number of times and see, as you return, you make the arm return and come down. And notice what a difference of feeling this is just in terms of the movement. Very different feeling of how it happens. Now open your eyes and look around with your eyes when you do this, but still keep the head on the arm and see what that's like. So you bring the whole lower leg onto the floor. Boom, that's it. Leave it all go, lie on your back, and observe the area in your upper back on your right side now. And notice, can you notice that it has made a somewhat of a difference just from making that one small extra element involved in the movement? Let's try the same thing on the other side. Come back. Lift your right leg. Put the left arm to the side to begin with. Now, the hand that's on the shoulder, it doesn't have to stay on the shoulder. You'll be able to move it, the right hand. But we're doing this because later we'll be using it also in different ways. So start to roll. Do 2 or 3 times without moving the left arm. Yeah. Notice if it's simpler in your hip joints to come over onto the side like this, and easier to come back. And then, when you're ready, make this quarter of a circle that you slide the left arm straight up, and put the right hand on the floor as if you want to lean on it. Yeah. So that you wouldn't go further. So if you put the hand on the floor, the right hand, the palm of the hand, so it stops you. And try for yourself a few times with the eyes closed to do this movement and see what that's like, what it helps you with, what it doesn't maybe. And then try a few times with your eyes open and see what that's like. Slide the arm up, slide the arm down. So make sure to take it back out to the side. That's a big part of the movement. And leave it all go. Straighten out on your back. And observe what it feels like now, not only in your area of your legs and your hip joints, but what it feels like in your upper back. Roll your head a little to the right and left and observe what this feels like. Where your middle is a little bit clearer. And stay in the middle. Notice what your general sensation on the floor is like now. Is it easier to say, oh, I feel specifically this, or I sense specifically that? Or since we did a few variations, it's not so clear, but the feeling is just in general, you can say, more lying, wider, maybe easier, nicer, more better. And open your eyes, take your time, come by way of one of your sides, come to sitting, come to standing. And see what it feels like in your standing once you stand up. Stand on the floor, see what it's like. Some of you will feel taller, or some of you will be more stable. Some of you will not be clear. What do you feel? Whatever it is, it's fine. Some of you just might feel nicer, easier. Walk around, see what it's like. Okay, good. All right, so that's the second exploration. We'll take another 10-minute break. We'll do 10-minute breaks instead of long breaks. And I'm also, once again, I'm available. Please approach me with whatever you'd like to ask for those that I